In the ancient world, death was not just an end, it was a passage, a doorway into a realm both feared and mysterious. The Hebrews called this place Sheol. But what exactly was Sheol? Was it hell? Was it heaven? Or was it something entirely different, hidden in the shadows of the Old Testament? The Bible mentions Sheol more than 60 times, yet never fully explains it. It is described as a dark, silent, shadowy place beneath the earth where both the righteous and the wicked go when they die. Job cries out, "Oh, that you would hide me in Sheol, that you would conceal me until your wrath is past." Job 14 verse 13. David laments, "For in death there is no remembrance of you. In Sheol who will give you praise?" Psalm 6 verse 5. Here, Sheol is not the blazing fire of hell, nor the shining gates of heaven. Instead, it is a place of waiting, a realm of silence where the dead sleep, awaiting a greater destiny. But to the Hebrew mind, Sheol was not a simple grave. It was a spiritual underworld, a vast shadow realm beneath creation. Imagine it, no sun, no moon, no song, only silence, dust, and waiting. The souls there were called Rephaim, shades, ghost-like figures without the fullness of life. And this is where the mystery deepens. Ancient Jewish thought divided Sheol into two realms. One was a place of peace for the righteous, the bosom of Abraham, as Jesus later described in Luke 16. Here, the faithful rested in hope, comforted, waiting for God's redemption. The other side of Sheol was torment, a place of anguish and flame, where the wicked suffered while awaiting final judgment. This dual vision is clearly shown in the parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Lazarus dies and is carried to Abraham's side, a place of comfort. The rich man dies and opens his eyes in torment, in the lower depths of Sheol. A great chasm separates the two, making it impossible to cross. So Sheol was not simply one place, but a divided realm, comfort for the righteous, suffering for the wicked. But Sheol was not eternal. It was temporary. It was the waiting room of eternity, holding the dead until the resurrection and final judgment. This is why the psalmist could pray, "You will not abandon my soul to Sheol, or let your Holy One see corruption." Psalm 16 verse 10. He looked forward to the day when the righteous would rise, and Sheol would no longer hold them. And then came Jesus. When he died, Scripture tells us he descended. Ephesians 4 says, when he ascended on high, he led captivity captive. 1 Peter 3 tells us he preached to the spirits in prison. What does this mean? That Christ himself went into the heart of Sheol, into the realm of the dead, and proclaimed victory. To the righteous waiting in Abraham's bosom, he opened the gates of heaven. To the wicked, his very presence was a declaration of defeat. This is why Revelation says that Jesus now holds the keys of death and Hades. He has authority over Sheol. Its gates no longer lock the righteous away. For the believer, to be absent from the body is now to be present with the Lord. But Sheol has not vanished. It still holds the wicked, still torments those who die in rebellion against God. Revelation 20 declares that in the end, death and Hades will give up their dead, and then be cast into the lake of fire, the second death. Sheol is not the final destination. It is the holding place before judgment. Outside of the Bible, Jewish writings paint Sheol as a vast underworld with multiple levels, sometimes 7. Some texts describe it as guarded by angels of death, a place where souls descend in darkness, waiting for the day when books will be opened and destinies revealed. And fascinatingly, almost every ancient culture had a similar idea. The Greeks had Hades. The Babylonians had the land of no return. The Egyptians had the Jewett. In every culture, death was not simply an ending, but a journey to an underworld, a shadowy realm where the dead waited. The Hebrew Sheol, however, was unique. It wasn't ruled by a god of death or some dark power. It was under the authority of Yahweh alone. The Lord kills and makes alive. He brings down to Sheol and raises up, 1 Samuel 2 verse 6. Even in the depths, God was still in control. So what is Sheol? It is the shadow realm of the dead, a place of waiting before final judgment, a divided realm of comfort and torment, a mystery that terrified the ancients, yet one that Jesus shattered when he descended, conquered, and rose again. And what does this mean for us today? It means that death is not the end. The grave is not the final word. The silence of Sheol has been broken by the voice of the risen Christ. And though Sheol still holds the wicked, it cannot hold those who belong to him. The mystery of Sheol is a reminder. Eternity is real. The underworld is real. And the choices we make in this life determine which side of Sheol we would have once entered, and which destiny awaits us now. So the question is no longer what is Sheol? The question is, where would you go if you died today?